Hello my lovelies and welcome back to another video. This time it's going to be my wrap up of all the books I've read in the year on my self-discovering, self-healing journey, and I want to share it with you all just to get excited for next year. You know how people have their things? Well, listening to audiobooks is my thing, and this year has been crazy. And now I want to share with you the 13 books that stood out for me the most. And the first one is The Law of Human Nature by Robert Greene. A lot of things did not make sense to me in 2024, but after reading this book, it made everything a lot more clearer and made me a lot more aware of in the future, because in this book it talks about how human nature is quite fickle. That is why I stopped telling people everything about myself. Even though I do share a lot on YouTube, I don't share everything, but it is impossible to talk about things without having a little bit of a backstory of why I started going on my self-growth journey. What stood out for me the most in this book is a lot of people are not happy within themselves and they project their unhappiness onto other people. That is why you can't share everything with certain people. That's why I played down my reactions to some of my family members, some of my friends, or people on the street, because jealousy and envy is a lot more common than I thought it was. In this book, it teaches you that if you are feeling jealous or envious, don't be hateful about it. That is just a trigger to say, I could do better, and you can do better. But another thing about this book too, it talks about micro expressions. I did not know about this until I started reading this book, and that is why I started paying attention to a lot of people's faces and eye movements, because now I'm able to tell, is this person okay to share things with, and is this person not okay to share things with? And I think that's the most important thing in life to understand. The next book I want to talk about is The Daily Stoic. So how I would describe this book is, imagine you have a parent figure or a guardian and they're just sharing their wisdom. So you don't have to go through the trials and tribulations because they've already been through it, they have already worked through it, and now they're just passing it on to you. You know, just to have a wider scope of the world. And one of my favorite quotes is that philosophy is the only pure thing in this world because it is timeless. Now, it won't fix all your problems, but a little bit of wisdom and philosophy go a long way in life, because how you frame certain situations can make or break your world. And sometimes just having someone just share their point of view can open your eyes to a whole new world that you didn't even know existed. I enjoy reading finance books, but Worthy was my favorite because I didn't realize how toxic my relationship was with money until reading this book. Because in the past, I had people telling me different things of how to manage money, but this book made me feel a lot more confident, a lot more brave, and a lot more appreciative of money. So I no longer look at it as a bad thing, but instead I look at it as money is good. I just gotta put myself first and realize that my self-worth is directly correlated with my net worth, and there's nothing wrong with that. Big Magic taught me in ways where if it's not bringing you joy, why do it? Because in life, you're supposed to be creating. It's supposed to be joyous. It's supposed to be a great thing. Why do you have an abusive relationship with your art? And that opened my eyes, because I didn't realize what I was doing was draining, and I was doing it out of hatred, because I wanted to write a book, but I didn't realize that writing should be a positive thing. It shouldn't be a toxic relationship thing. And I was like, okay, let me just take a break from it and figure out what brings me joy, and YouTube is what brings me joy. Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers by Tam Kerr. This book came at the right time in my life, because when I was reading this book, I was also doing some self-love, solo trips, and basically pouring into my own cup that I didn't even know was empty. This book taught me that being obsessed with yourself is the best self-love you could do, because at the end of the day, no one will take more care of you than yourself. Now that I have treated myself with a lot more kindness, a lot more forgiveness, my confidence has grown to the point where this is the quality of which the life I want to live, and I don't want to subtract to it. Another thing she taught me in this book is make sure your life is already full. So the people who are coming into your life, they're adding to it and not subtracting to it. And that's like the best advice I have ever been given, because I love myself and I want to give myself the best life possible. And the confidence I've grown from this makes me feel like I can take on the world, and that is the best gift anyone can give themselves, and that's self-love. All About Love by Bell Hooks. Now, don't let the title mislead you. This book goes into depth about the ugly side just as much as the self-love side, because she goes in deep about family relationships, partners, parents, and kids, even the women and men's relationships. And one of the things that took me out is the men are a lot more emotional, and once they start speaking about their emotions, you just wish they would just be quiet. And that is the importance of self-love in this book, because at the end of the day, love is disappointing, it is heartbreaking, it is emotionally damaging. But if you love yourself first, and if you love yourself more, it doesn't affect you as bad, because you were there for yourself in the beginning and you will be there for yourself at the end. And there should not be any shame, because once you love yourself for who you are and what you can do for yourself and the people around you, that is enough. My favorite read of 2025 is Adult Children from Immature Parents. This book opened my eyes, because I didn't realize how much baggage and emotional damage I was carrying around until I read this book. Because under the age of 18, it's 100% your parents' fault. But after you're 18, you're now an adult, it is now your responsibility. It may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. The key lesson that I learned from this book was, whatever you wished your parents treated you, give it to yourself. Therefore, you are no longer looking for validation or evidence that you're a person worth loving. Instead, when you give it to yourself first, those opinions or sly comments no longer mean anything to you. Because in the past, I would have loved to hear some certain words from my parents, like, I'm proud of you, you're amazing, I believe in you, you're confident. I would have loved that. But now that I've been doing it for myself, I no longer crave that love. I no longer crave that validation, and I feel a lot more whole as a person, because I have given myself that love, and now I am a lot more confident and secure as a person, because why am I looking outside of people when I can find it in myself? The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. This book taught me to let other people do them and let you do you, because in the past, I hold on so much of the emotional labor where I'm like, oh, if I let that person do that, they're going to get hurt. But in reality, you don't know how that will turn out. It might even turn out even better. And that's because you let them grow by themselves. Within saying that, you can also do the same. I cannot express to you how many times in my life where I ignored my parents and my friends and I did what I want to do, and it turned out even better than before. Because in that, all you're ever going to learn is growth or lesson. That's why the Let Them Theory is so powerful. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hills. This book is more of a philosophy between the devil and a man, where they discuss the good and evils of the world. The main takeaways I took from this book was drifting, where, for example, in the past, I let the world take me where it wanted to go. And I see now that is a bad thing, because if you don't have any direction, purpose, or mission in life, you are easily swayed, manipulated, and led down the wrong path, because you have no endpoint in life, no desires. So there is no such thing as the devil, only a lack of belief in oneself and the people around them. And because people don't want other people to have big aspirational dreams, is because they feel threatened by it. Hence why only share your dreams with the people that you trust and they believe in you, or they can lead you down the wrong way. The Way of the Superior Man. Believe it or not, this book fixed my feminine energy, and here's why. It talks about masculine energy being stability, protecting, and providing, while feminine energy is supposed to be freeing, emotional, and creating. Don't get me wrong, being masculine in certain phases of your life as a woman is important, but when it comes to relationships and dating, finding someone who's more masculine than you and putting you in your feminine energy is freeing, because then you're able to submit. And submission is not a bad word. Submission simply means that you trust a man in your life who is stepping up to the plate, who's taking responsibility and putting his woman in her feminine energy. And I think that is what I was missing for the longest time in my life, because all the men in my life always put me in my masculine energy and I was never able to flow with my feminine energy. This does not mean that he has to pay for everything and has to do everything in a relationship. No, it just means that he has a goal and a mission in life outside of you. You're just receiving the benefits of what he has already made himself. So he's making himself strong first. Therefore, you get to live in your feminine energy when he has stepped into his masculine energy, so you can respect him as a man, because men are not inherently valuable like women, but men have to work hard to become valuable so they can be respected. Obviously, this is like a guideline to masculine and feminine energy, but overall, I approve the messages. Atlas Shrugged is my favorite of 2025. It's a philosophy about trains, but it goes a lot more deeper. It does sound a bit boring at times, but the core values still remain, and that is how rich people are actually good people and poor people are actually bad people, because rich people take full accountability of everything in their lives and they created nothing out of something, and they deserve to be compensated for their efforts in making it happen. Dagny is my favorite female lead of all times. She taught me to take full accountability of my life, control my emotions, and don't be ashamed of what I want in the future. Because there are men out there that are like the male leads in the book. You just need to find one, and don't be ashamed to want more in life. And it all starts by thinking for yourself. Reality transurfing came to me at my lowest, or maybe it was divine intervention, because I was scrambling, I was spiraling, I was low-key going insane, and no one was coming to save me until I stumbled upon this book, because apparently it was recommended by a lot of big influential people, and I thought, what else do I have left to lose? So I listened to this book. It was super long, by the way, and it just gave me the reassurance that I needed. The core premise of this book is saying the world is a mirror. Whatever you put in front of it, it will reflect it. So you have to have no meaning or value to anything, because the moment you do put too much value or meaning onto something, you're basically telling the mirror it's not yours. But when you have zero attachments and you don't mind if it's in your life or not in your life, you're able to keep it. It will either take the things away that no longer serve you, or give you something that's way better. The old me would not believe this book. It would think it's like, oh, it's too hooly-dooly. But after 2025, I do believe there is something spiritual going on. The Trouble with Fate. So I debated a long time, should I add this book in my list? And I thought, might as well, because this is the one that started my whole growth journey and made me step out of my comfort zone, do some traveling, dating, and figuring out what do I like and how to live life away from my parents, because that version of Addie had everything I wanted minus the romance. in a loving family, stable household, parents that respect each other, older sisters that love and support you. Granted, they did fight, but that's normal sibling relationships. But what made me cry was the parents actually loved her, they called her a blessing, they believed in her, they didn't question her, and they knew she would make the right decision no matter what. And I think that is so lovely because now I know what it feels like to have parents that have so much trust, and I can now move into the world with a little bit more confidence. If I ever met the author again, I would ask her, did Addie ever get her dream? We will never know. But I do know the answer to the second one, and that is, will she choose the second male lead? And that is a yes. Because life is not a romance story. The only true love is in yourself. Here are some honorable mentions. I hope you enjoy them. But overall, thank you guys so much for watching. I promise you the next videos are going to be a lot more higher quality than this. But thank you so much for sticking around, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.